Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, 5011 fam. How y'all
Give
is?
me love.
Mm, period. It's Dee Dee
This is
and
all in the
Jay
spirit.
back doing what we do, y'all, here at the 5011 Chronicles. That's having conversations that spark conversation. And we are back just to keep with y'all, just to talk. We're gonna get to a couple little current affair things, but it's a great time to be alive, I think. Um,
You just picked my spirit up. I ain't gonna lie, cause I didn't have all this energy before I got
Let me
on the
tell
phone.
you,
I
but we brought
really
each other
didn't.
there. We brought each other there because let me tell you, you
You
started
see,
getting
like how I started off
ready.
when I first answered to how I am now.
180. I think it picked both of us up.
180.
See, y'all, that's what y'all need in friendships. It's about friendship. It's about we see each other, we lift each other
Mm-hmm.
up, because it 100% so. There are a couple things I want to get into because there's been a lot going on with the people, and I don't know. I'm perplexed by a lot of things. It's like not to
I'm
mention life be
perplexed
life.
by it all.
The first thing that I want to bring up, it's Pride Month. We've talked about this in a previous episode, and I think that some people need to understand why something like Pride Month is important, especially for the LGBTQIA plus community. And I'm going to make a comparison that I think really gets on a lot of people's nerves, but I really need people to understand it because I don't
They can
think it's
tell how they want to
clicking.
feel.
That's my
They get
responsibility
on
is
our
to give you the
nerves with their
information.
stuff, so we can
Look,
get
it's
on
not
theirs.
my job to babysit anybody's feelings, so feel how you're going to feel when I say this. But the Rainbow Mafia, as I like to call us, our journey, especially those of us of color, it parallels the Black experience and the Black struggle in a lot of ways. It's not the exact same thing. I know that. I know that.
But
But
oppression is
but
oppression.
oppression is oppression.
Discrimination is discrimination.
And I need people to understand that when people are born a certain way that just doesn't make sense to you, doesn't appeal to you, isn't what you relate to or recognize to be as what you walk in, you don't necessarily have to say anything to them. You don't have to.
Well, they think we chose it. They don't think we was born this way. We
Exactly. And
chose
that's
it.
why I'm like, it's important to make this specific correlation. It's just like being born Black is something you can't control. Being born other is also something you can't control. Being born queer is not something like I've tried to pray the gay away. I've tried it. It don't work. When you're born this way, we're told everything God created is perfect, just as it is. It's taken me 30 years to get to that point to be able to accept that for myself. So it's
Hmm.
not my responsibility to babysit anybody else's feelings because I know my relationship with God and I know God's relationship with me.
And it's not their responsibility to be worried about what the fuck you got going on.
And there it is. And there it is
That's the
then.
realty.
And the part that I want people
Affecting
to
them.
get about it is I think some people get stuck on the word pride, which is their business to deal with, because you actually have to read the book to understand what pride was being spoken about as one of the deadliest of sins. You have to really read the book and understand what pride was being talked about. It wasn't just the term pride in any sense of accomplishment and being proud of oneself for accomplishing something. That is not the pride that is being talked about as one of the deadliest of sins. So I really need y'all to get in the book and
That's the thing
understand
too.
that.
Like people be in the book, but they don't comprehend the book. They don't have theological basis behind the book. They are just regurgitating
Regurgitating.
indoctrinated information. But they
Regurgitating.
don't even actually understand their book. Like I was watching this live with Jasmine Gardens and I can't
Love me some
remember
Jasmine.
the other girl. She's like a Christian,
Hmm.
she has like a Christian platform, but I can't remember her name. It's like God's Glamour or something like that.
Something like
But
that.
they
Yeah.
were having like a little conversation because the girl had made a video about Jasmine, basically being like, "Oh, this girl says she's a witch and you gotta watch out for these spirits and this is why she's demonic and da da da." So Jasmine's like, "Let's get together, let's talk." And the thing about her is she actually, because she was a PK, she knows the book. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not that she doesn't know the Bible. It's just that when she read and interpreted it, she got what she got from it. And you got what you got from it based on what you were taught. And it was so funny because she was throwing out this stuff at the girl from the Bible. And when I say the girl was so unprepared, I don't even think the girl read the Bible before. Like, she was so unprepared.
And
Like,
see, I should have
she was
tuned into
so
that
lost in
live.
thought.
I should have tuned into that live because I was following that situation. I've been following Jasmine Brand for a long time. Like I've been a huge fan of hers for a minute, and I love how she dissects even the Bible to explain
Mm.
spirituality. People can't always accept her approach. That's their business and their responsibility to
Right.
deal with
And it
because
ain't for
it can be
everybody.
tough. It's not for everybody, but honey, she gives me my life when she
Yeah.
delivers facts because she does not speak from a place of subjectivity in most cases. Yeah, she's got her opinions and her thing, but when
Hmm.
she gets into the reality of spirituality, like it's
And
wonderful
I
some of the
think a lot of
conversations that she
people
has.
like to hide behind religion to spew their own like hate and their own opinions and thoughts and agendas of how they feel like it should be. And I think one thing that people forget, one is like, I feel like people don't like to be honest about the fact that even in church, there have been a lot of times, and even when they preach about homosexuality, because they love a good old sermon.
They love it. They'll take you
They
to
love
Leviticus in a
it. Like,
heartbeat.
they will take it. Listen, whenever they talking about
Exodus,
getting
they'll
your
take you
life
to in a
right, you
heartbeat.
can you can bet your bottom dollar that's gonna be on the list. That's gonna be one of the first things they bring up. But it's like people don't even see themselves how they are not operating from a space of love when you're even speaking on these things.
Hmm.
You're operating from a space of hate. You're not creating space for certain people. And it's like, even if you look at the people Jesus was hanging out with, he wasn't hanging out,
Hello.
it wasn't a bunch of saints. There was not a bunch of saints that them disciples was not a bunch of saints that was just preaching the holy gospel and he was like, oh, y'all come with me. That's not the people
That's not
that
what
he
it
was with.
was.
And when Jesus came, he wasn't coming to make everybody Christian. He was coming to show people the way of the spirit, the way of God, how you live your life to connect spiritually and how you should be living your life in that way. I think
Hmm.
too, a lot of people they mix and mingle the Old and New Testament when they like to throw stuff out too. But it's like I feel like in the Bible, the whole point of Jesus dying on the cross, like like are we forgetting the purpose of that? Are we forgetting what that was supposed to do? Like, so it's like you conflating old stuff with what's going on over here, and it's like, well, we went through this thing, so all this over here don't. You ain't had no problem with that seafood boil you had, but that's in that old. Oh, we don't.
Hmm.
You ain't have no problem mixing that polyesters, but we ain't gonna talk about your spandex and cottons and mixing them together. We ain't gonna talk about the mixing of your fabrics. Like people like to pick and choose
They
which
do.
parts of the Bible they like to stand on when it's like you not even fully comprehending what you're reading. You don't even understand what was going on theologically at that point historically to understand why
Exactly.
certain things were said, why certain things were done a certain way,
Who
and
made
how
these
there is
rules?
evolution and
Who
change.
made the rules? That's the thing. That's the thing. You're completely spot on. As I always tell people when they go and start spouting out certain rules and things that are written in the Bible, I always ask them, well, who made those rules that you're talking about? Because when God gave us anything, it was a commandment. It had a name, it had a place. There were 10 on those
Right.
tablets. That's what we were supposed to live by. The rules were created by man. Man created the rules. And you also, it gets me started on my whole tangent, friend, because I always tell them you have to go back to the translation and the context, like you said, because these were people taking a completely what they consider dead language that is no longer
Mm-hmm.
spoken and converting it into, and first it was translated into Greek and into, I think maybe Latin and maybe into, it was a couple other languages first before we started even getting to English.
And then a lot of the Bibles y'all told around are the canonized ones. They say King James on them. And We could go down that rabbit hole if you want to, but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
that's
y'all
a
need to know what
whole
y'all reading
separate,
and
that's a
understand why.
whole nother
Because a lot of
episode.
people did get in a room and decide we're going to put
And
this in
decide
here, we're going to
what
take
we
this
were going to
out, we're going to
tell
put
them.
that over there. Exactly. So
How
people
much of
don't
this
like
are
to
we going
talk
to let
about
them
how
know?
in the black church they were telling them Christianity was used to keep black slaves docile. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. There were overseers in the churches making sure they preached a certain message a certain way. Anybody can take a scripture in the Bible and flip it to fit what they want. I was one of those kids where, like, if you be like, oh, I'm finna preach from XYZ and I'm finna take this, they take that one little excerpt. And then when you read, I would sit there and like read the whole chapter because I
The
got
whole
ADHD.
thing.
And
I need to
if
know
you
the
don't pull
context.
me in,
Same.
I need context. And so it's like when I'm reading this whole thing, this one little bar you didn't pull it out don't have nothing to do with
With what's
what's
going
going
on
on up
here.
here. You just use something so that it could fit the message that you wanted to put out. And a lot of people do that. A
A
lot of
lot of people
people
do that.
don't place historical fact and they don't teach in the church. It's a lot of like, and it's not for me. I'm not coming down on the church because it's like I watch sermons and all that stuff. I love the Lord like everybody else, but I'm a very spiritual person. And I'm also somebody who's aware that when you're allowing yourself to be led, you need to be paying attention to who's leading you. And you also have to have your own discernment, your own
Say
lean
it.
and know your own and take that time for yourself to go within and you have a conversation with God. You should not be putting a church and a pastor between you and God.
Hmm.
And a lot of people do that. They just go off of what they've been taught and what they've been told. And it kind of, a lot of it strays, like religion, any religion, not just Christianity. A lot of these religions stray from spirituality because it just becomes rules and practices and things that you just got to
That's
consistently
it.
do.
Let me tell you, that is 100. Ugh, I'm always telling people this because one of the things that frustrates me the most about religion, and the biggest ones in particular, is
And this
these
is a
were,
PK, y'all.
hello, so many times over. I come from a family full of ministers, pastors,
Talk
assistant
about it.
pastors, prophets, all of it. Like, hello. So it's all through my side. I'm telling you. So I've done my research. Um, when you break down the biggest of religions, it boils down to a couple of things. There was a man that God sent
Hmm.
to come
Hmm.
to a part of the planet to minister to his people, to get them in alignment with how they should be living, to show them by example, to perform miracles, to open their eyes, and again, to get them focused, united, and aligned. The whole purpose of all of these men, whether it was Allah who sent Muhammad, whether it was Jesus Christ sent by God, you can even go into Buddhism and see a
Buddha
connection.
was a man. Buddha
Buddha
was a
was a man.
man. I think people forget
These
that. Buddha was a
the
man.
Buddha
He just
was a
wrote
man.
down how he got to where he got to spiritually and was
Jesus
like,
was a man.
y'all, this how I did it.
And all of them gave us these guidelines. None of them gave us rules. They were all about love. They were all about unification. These are the things you shouldn't do because that's unsavory behavior. That doesn't do good for you, the planet, the people around you. These are the things you should do because there's a season for this and there's a season for that. And this is how you should handle it when this happens. They were
Hmm.
examples and teachings done to teach the people how to live in a way that was not just best for them and their soul, but the people around them and the planet. If you go back and look at all of them, they were also all about keeping the planet in good health. Nobody was doing anything toxic to the planet. People were actually going and spending time in nature to reconnect with the creator in almost
And
all
we over here
cases, if
tearing
not
it
all of
down.
them, tearing it down, destroying all the spaces where you can go to
Completely
go into a
disconnected.
desert. Like Jesus Christ went into the desert 40 days to be tempted by Satan. That's what the Bible tells us. But if you go and look at all of the major faiths, that main character, if you will, in the story, went through that journey where they had to go all off by themselves into a space in nature alone to
In
reconnect and come
silence.
back and perform in
Yes.
silence. To come
Because
back and
even in the
perform.
Bible, it tells you God is where? within
within,
you.
because God
That's why
created
you say,
everything
I am.
from God.
That's the
There it
first
is.
thing God said, I am. And when you say I am, He's with
But it's interesting because I once heard Iyanla say, and y'all know I love me some Iyanla Van Zandt. She's one of my favorite spiritual teachers to a certain extent, because of how she breaks down material. It's just really wonderful. But she was talking about the names of God and how if you look at the ancient names of God, they align with how we breathe.
you.
Allah and Buddha and Jehovah. Like it was just very interesting. Like, and even I saw it somewhere else broken down. The name of God in the Bible, Yahweh, broken down,
Mm-hmm.
was essentially breathing.
Yep. So the
So
people
it's
ain't over here
interesting.
breathing
Those are the
or
things
touching
we're
grass.
not being taught when we're being hammered with ritual and rule and regulation. And this is how it should be done. And this is your role. Because that is not what, like, you go and look at the journeys.
Mm-hmm.
None of these individuals who these major religions were founded about founded the religion.
No.
Jesus didn't go, I'm Jesus Christ and I'm starting Christianity. You can be a
You
Christian and
all
you can
must
be a
follow
Christian
me.
and you can be a Christian. That is not at all how it went down. Buddha did not say, okay, I am the Buddha and now Buddhism is a thing. This is a religion and these are our rules. To be a member, you must. That is not how it happened. And that's what I don't understand how people don't get that religion was created by man. Spirituality was
Exactly.
understood because it's of God.
Period.
Religion was created by man. And when things are
And
created
if
by
you say
man,
that you choose
they
spiritual,
are
they think you the devil.
already imperfect. When things are created
Yes.
by man, they're already imperfect. It can't be perfect because man created it.
Talk about it.
So when you
Talk
create
about it.
religion, you're going to stray away from the purpose because man can't, you can't organize God into these. This is all you got to do. This is, this is God. 642 pages, front and back.
And you left some out. That's the real thing. You left some out.
And that's not even the full book. And that's not even the full translation. That's why I've even, as
And you
I've
know
gotten
what's even
older,
crazier? Like, even with like the New Testament, like people don't realize that was people writing. That was not God's words. That was people
come
writing
on. Why do y'all
and
think
sharing
they're
and telling each
names
other.
of the chapters? Why
They're
do
the
y'all think they are
it's
named?
they're telling
That's
you
who.
who said it. They're telling you who said it. Timothy said this. Like, they telling you who said it. People completely miss that, and they reference it as if these are God's words. These were not God's words. When God is speaking, you know if you have the Bible with the colors in it.
Hmm.
So and a lot of y'all don't even hear that. So these is not all the words is not God's words. God didn't say that stuff. These were
Yes, you
people
have
going
to.
on their journeys and
That's why I always
sharing
tell you, you have
experiences
to
and talking about
read.
their experiences.
You really have to read
You
it
gotta
because, like,
comprehend, because that's the key. That's the part they be
and the
reading it.
toughest part
They don't do
is also the
comprehension.
translation. Like, that's something D and I know I can speak for D in this case because we've done this together. We read more than one translation of the Bible.
Yes.
You don't just read the translation you were raised on. I love the
Mm-hmm.
amplified version as well as the Passion Translation. I love both of those because the Passion
Yes.
Translation is translated straight from Aramaic. I think that's the language that it was, Aramaic, which was the language spoken at the time. So it's straight from that. Hello, straight from the source. That's what I want to read, and they put it in context. They say
You know
this
what's
word was
funny?
used because this is what was going on. So it was used in this context.
I do like that. I do like that too, that they put that in there. But what would be funny to me is I always think about, like, if Jesus came today, a lot of people would be the Hebrews. Like, they wouldn't, y'all wouldn't be. Think about if Jesus came and was doing what he was doing then, now. What they gonna say? Witchcraft. Right about to say. If Jesus came down here today and was like, I am the Son of God, people would laugh him out the room.
There was a
The people
show
would
about
not.
that.
The people would record him on Instagram and make fun of him.
Do you remember that? Do you remember a couple years ago there was a show and I didn't watch it. It was either a show or a movie. It came out and that was kind of the concept was this man popped up just out of nowhere and he started performing miracles, but it was in like as if Jesus popped up in modern time. I didn't watch the whole show, so I don't know where it went, and I think it was more on some suspense, mystery energy. So I'm really thinking we didn't stay where Jesus was, but I do
Okay.
think I don't think it stayed Jesus. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I know it started. They were advertising it very Jesus-like, Jesus adjacent at
Hmm.
least. Because I think they were even saying in the advertisement, is it the second coming of Christ? Like they were just like all of that was happening. So that I think that might have happened in the show, and that's really interesting because I also feel like if Jesus came in this time, he would have to pray for a whole different kind of armor. He would have to like
Hmm.
it would be a whole different. I don't know that Jesus could come in this time and the world be saved the way that it was when he came. Good thing he came when he came because
Mm.
like let me tell you, in this time people are so judgmental if and I this is let me tell y'all, if Jesus was flipping tables in the churches back then over money, what do you think he would do if he saw mega churches?
You
What do
know
you
what's funny is people be forgetting that part. Like people forget that like there wasn't just like, oh, I am only peace, love, and light. Like, nah, I got a little bit of thug in me too. People be forgetting God had a little bit of thug in him too. Like they be forgetting the balance. There's balance. God had wrath too.
let me tell you, I told mama, I said, I bet sometimes he would really have to catch himself. Because he would really want to like either pop somebody
Oof.
upside the head or want to say something. And I get that he had a heart, just the perfect heart and the perfect mind, and I'm sure he didn't think about popping them. But I'm sure that because he was human, in human form, there was 1% of him that might have had a side eye at some point.
Where a little
Because
shady
at the
remark
end, he was definitely like, what have I done?
on one.
What is, what, this is what it was all about? This is what you meant when you said sacrifice? Did you leave me? Where you at? I'm talking to you. Do you hear me?
Is this on?
Hello?
Is this thing on?
Daddy? Daddy. Like, um, I just think about, and that's the thing about it too, is that's also how I know I've walked into a whole different relationship with God, is that the way that I view God now is so big.
Hmm.
God is in everything, everything and everywhere. Name it and claim it. It's your everywhere. It is wild that since I've stopped trying to live religiously and instead
Hmm.
tried to walk in relationship with God, and let that look like what it looks like. God knows I'm a work in progress. I'm not I'm not perfect
I know I
by any
listen.
means. But
We know how far I've come.
let me tell you, and we're still works in progress and it's beautiful because you see the favor of God on our lives, even though they might
Hmm.
consider us unorthodox or non-traditional. It's like, I don't care what you consider me because you don't have
Yeah.
neither heaven nor hell to place me in. So,
Not a piece.
good day.
And I'm already on Earth, so I
I
mean,
said good day.
I'm al-
Like
I'm already here with you.
I'm
So I
already
mean,
here.
I'm already here talking to you. This is hell.
Hello. Um, so that was the pride component of it that I really wanted to get into. Is like it's not about blasting and having this agenda that's always being spoken of, and it's about people who have had to hide themselves, who have lost
Hmm.
friends who weren't able to be themselves, who have faced all types of oppression, who have been unhoused, disowned, uh,
Targeted.
uh, you know, I'm trying to find the best word to use that's not as violent, but
Unalive.
harmed, harmed and unalive by others, and just for being
Hmm.
themselves, just for being who they were born, and sometimes expressing that in ways that people didn't agree with. But it's like we've come so far that as Black people, we're able to move about fairly easily, not getting into the whole. police conversation, but moving around fairly
Mm.
easily.
We ain't
Um,
getting water hosed no
we're not
more.
getting water hosed anymore.
No, no
We're not getting
dogs and
kicked
water
out
hose.
of the diners for sitting
Right.
in the wrong seat anymore, or coming in the wrong door. There's not separate water fountains anymore. We can, for the most part, buy from any business we want. Um, we are the number one consumer, as a matter of fact. So it's interesting for me that because in so many other communities' journeys, queer people showed up and showed out. Civil rights, Bayard Rustin. Um, then you had gay rights and community organization, Harvey Milk. They've showed up and showed out to do the work, and so many more.
Hmm.
So many more. Like those are just the first two that I can think of that I know more about. Marsha P. Johnson. I don't. I get emotional and I get angry at the same time when I see people make comments and posts and statements about pride from places of ignorance and
Information that
places
nobody asked them
nobody
for.
asked for. Like, I get we all have opinions, but some opinions are there to inform and some are there for no reason than to
Hmm.
infuriate, other than
Hmm.
to kind of get,
Discriminate.
and kind of rile people up, if you will, because to me they also become hate magnets, where the comment
Hmm.
section is filled with agreeances of hate that say things in language that's just unnecessary. Um, I think that having something as simple as pride is the least that can be done for the amount of lives that have been lost from the sheer
There's a big
abuse and oppression
difference.
alone.
There's a big difference full and taking pride in who you are. And I think
Hmm.
that is where the
The
disconnect be
disconnect is.
happening for people sometimes. Because it's like it's crazy how it's like you want people to feel bad about who they are. What does that say about you? Somebody that's not harming anybody. I could see if they was out here, harming people like a lot of these cishet men do,
Hello.
then you shouldn't take pride in who you are. But I'm not bothering anybody. You just don't like who I like. You don't want me to feel good about myself because you don't like who I like. What does that say about
That's
you?
why I was like, make that make
You know how
sense. Like,
asinine that sounds?
so
You're
foolish
mad because you don't like who I like, but it doesn't affect you at all.
at all.
I'm minding
And
my
there's no way to
business,
make that make
and so are
sense.
you.
And this is another correlate. I'm gonna make a mad with this one. So June is LGBTQIA plus Pride Month.
Hmm.
February is Black History Month.
Hmm.
Is that also not a month in which we exercise Black pride?
Talk about it,
AAPI
sir.
month, AAPI Heritage Month is March. I don't see how that's not also another month in
Pride.
which their community expresses pride. When Mexico's Day of Independence comes around, also Cinco de Mayo and so many others.
We got one coming up. We got two coming up. Juneteenth and the 4th of July coming up.
Juneteenth and the 4th of July, are those not
And I
celebrations of
mean, the
pride?
4th of July is a crazy thing to take pride in because you're prideful about taking over a country that was never even yours to begin with.
You want to hear
You're
something
declaring
crazy?
independence to come somewhere that you don't even belong.
That you don't
What?
belong.
And then your ancestors, you come along, and then you have the audacity to be trying to kick people out now when how you got here. Say they were illegal immigrants
That's
and
the
took
part
the
I
4th of
try to
July.
get people. You need to stay out of my file cabinets, because I'm telling you, that is literally what I be saying to
We
people. It's like,
live in the reverse. We in the
did
upside
we
down. That's where
miss,
we live.
like, y'all, did I know that I liked history? Okay, like, I liked history because it was storytelling. Did they miss the
Hmm.
fact that
They
literally
missed the facts. Period.
all of them, they missed all of
Missed the
them?
facts. Period.
You
Like
know,
how?
I,
Like
I learned I learned a really interesting little piece of trivia. Do you know the most celebrated holiday worldwide?
no. What is it?
The most celebrated holiday worldwide is some version of a Day of Independence from The UK
That is every other country's Independence Day is an
is
independence
the
from
day of
British
independence
rule.
from British rule. Yes, it is the
And
most
then the
celebrated
British came
holiday
over here
worldwide.
and was like, we are also independent of British rule. And we're going to take over this country and swear that these people don't know what they're doing and we're going to fix it.
I'm
Like,
always
what?
just telling people like, do you not realize that this country was literally founded on immigration? Literally founded on immigration. People who were not supposed to be here came over here, put some roots down, and said, "This is our land now. We're going to start a country, and we're going to call them the United States of America."
And then use the Statue of Liberty that was sent for us to flip it and be like, hey, all the immigrants are welcome here. Come on over. People
Come
forget that
on
that
in.
happened. We invited
Literally
them
attracted them.
over.
Literally invited them.
We didn't like they didn't like black people so much. They were like, bring some others over. We're
We
gonna bring
invited the
the others over.
Irish from because they
We
had the
did.
potato famine going on. We
The
invited the Irish.
Italian.
We invited the Italians. We were inviting so many of other like nationalities to come here intentionally. Make it
And now
make sense.
y'all mad.
Like y'all these people are not learning because clearly we were learning in school and reading the books.
Well, they're also revisionist historians too, so
That is also true.
they
You were
love to
right.
rewrite shit like it didn't happen.
You are absolutely right. Speaking of Pride Month and foolishness and just connecting into a beautiful little segue, let's talk about T.S. Madison and Nene Leakes real quick. I really
Okay.
didn't want to because I don't like
Let's.
entertaining
We need
foolishness.
to.
I really don't like entertaining foolishness. Um, I want to
The
yield for a
Nenes
moment.
and the Jesses, they stress me out, friend. The Nenes, and it's so funny
Jess
to
does
me
not
with
stress
Nene
me out.
Leaks is
She just
because
does not surprise me.
the thing with Nene Leaks is like, girl, you are
Your
community
whole
down boots from the way you
your
talk,
whole career,
the way like
whole career.
you literally like how do you not eat first of all, how do you not hear what you're saying as it's coming out of your mouth?
Why are you still talking?
Right. And then what I don't understand is like what is this thing? When I see trans women, it literally doesn't move me. The most I might do is be like, oh, she's eating, she's serving. And I might not even clock the tea. And I'm in Atlanta, so I see it often. And even if I clock your tea, I'm not gonna out loud clock your tea, but it still doesn't matter to me because that's your life. Do you, boo? You're eating, serving. Like it doesn't phase me. And what's always so crazy to me is like I think women forget who the enemy actually is. Trans women are not your enemy. If anything, we need to be banding together because we have a common enemy. You need to read the stats of who's unaliving them and who's unaliving us. There's some synchronicity. If you didn't know, there's synchronicity between the two.
Hmm.
We don't have beef with them. They cannot erase you no more than me existing can erase you. I don't understand. And like, or you got people like Jess who's like, oh, my uterus is my superpower. Like, you sound like an idiot. You sound like all of these patriarchal men who literally act like all women are baby making machines. Girl, that's all you got is your cooch, sister. You're not worth much then. Like, how much are you really worth? Like,
Hmm.
let's clock that.
Clock that.
I don't understand where the ignorance come from. I don't understand the competition because a lot it always boils down to men. That is what it all boils down to. A lot of
Hmm.
women, their issue is that they feel like they losing men. Let me tell you, if that man like trans women, you ain't lost the man because he don't like you.
He don't like you.
It's simple. It's that simple. And then it's like, too, why do you care? You're not. Have you seen the quality of these men, girl? You're not losing anything. In the words of Tommy Davidson, who are these niggas? We need to stay away from these niggas.
Hmm.
And I don't mean it as in black people. I mean the cis het men when I say that. Like these trans women are not your enemy. Trans women are not your competition either. You're in two different lanes, driving parallel,
Hmm.
and that's okay.
And that's
I
okay.
don't understand like where all that comes from, and like what's the need to compare? What's the need to understand why? How do you not understand how a man could see a beautiful woman and be attracted? Now, some men, when they find out the tea, it's like, oh, that's not my thing. That's fine.
And
But
that's fine,
some of
period.
them be like, that is my thing, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, girl, if they not looking at you, checking for you, you were never in the equation to begin with. You're not losing
That's
anything.
not your man.
Like I didn't understand, like, or it's like even with people trying to hone down on men's sexuality, like, oh, because people don't feel like, let's keep it a buck. People don't feel like men can be bisexual.
That's true.
That's
That's how they
I don't get
feel.
that, but that's how they feel. If you will, they feel like if you're willing to try it, you just gay, and then that's just it. There's no spectrum for the men. If you into it, it's a wrap. That's it. That's what
Mhm.
you are. But at the same time, it's like, why do you care? I be trying to figure out
If
why.
it's
Why
not
do you
you,
care?
why does it matter?
If that's not what you, if that's not the type of man that you're into, that's your prerogative.
That
You don't
is your
have to be.
prerogative.
You
You
don't
don't,
have to be.
boom.
But at the same time, you don't have to feel no type of way about it either.
Hmm.
The same way I don't feel no type of way about any other person on this earth that I'm not checking for and ain't checking for me.
Hmm.
It's like I don't understand what y'all so
I'm
worried
just
about.
like, I
What are
can't
y'all holding
imagine,
on to these men for?
I can't
Let them
imagine
go.
losing sleep over a man that don't want me. I cannot, that is
And
not
then
even
and then sitting in
attracted
front of
to
the,
me.
the person that he does want and being like, well, why do he want you? Because that's essentially what she said. And that's what a lot of y'all be saying, because a lot of y'all be hanging around the community, but
Hmm.
then when it comes to a man being involved or something like that,
Come
then
say
your
it,
true feelings and your true
say
colors
it.
come out. Then we really see what it's giving.
Then we really see
Or
what's
you
good.
have people like Just Hilarious. Your real issue is that you don't fit into the stereotype of a feminine woman. Let's keep it a being. What the stereotype in society expects of women.
Hmm.
You don't fit. You're not docile. You're not demure. You're not soft spoken. You dress how you want to dress. As you said yourself, some people then came and asked you, was you a T girl? And that's your real issue. That's really why you mad. But at the same time, your issue is not with them. Your issue is with this raggedy country and society that we've created.
Hmm.
So where women have to look and be a certain way, and if you don't look and be a certain way, then people gonna ask you them type of questions,
Hmm.
as if women are a monolith and we all look a certain way and femininity presents a certain way, which ain't
Toxic
true.
masculinity. That's it.
It's like people don't even understand, like, we're fighting against the same things that they're
The
fighting against,
same thing.
but you're
The
choosing to
same
fight them
system. The same system
instead
that's
of
built against
joining.
you is built against them. It just doesn't, I don't know. I think that so many men have spent, because it's mostly men that have built this system. It's mostly
It's the
men,
patriarchy.
cis het white men for the most part, but there were some black men involved
Hmm.
too who built
They
this
get in line and
system.
assimilate.
Come on. And not just all the colors. All of the rainbow has been involved with this one, of
We
cis
saw
het
how
men.
the people voted, the brown folks.
Come on now, we see. Yeah, that's I'm like, hang on, because there's more. I gotta get to some of these Cubans over here. But that's who this system has been created and set by. It is against all of us. All of us who are
Hmm.
not cis het men, this system is mostly against us. It does not want us to
Hmm.
succeed. It does not want us to thrive. And especially those of us who are not passing. Because if you pass, okay, life's a little bit easier for you.
Right.
It's a little bit simpler if you pass. It can be a lot easier on you. And that's any people on any part of the spectrum of the rainbow. If you pass, it can be a lot easier than if
Right.
you don't. Because some of us is just you clock our T when you see us, and others
Hmm.
you pass.
You get
So
by.
so and some people you just have a really good eye, you can tell. So
Hmm.
it's it's heartbreaking, and at the same time it's not, because one, I wouldn't have expected a really highbrow conversation between the two of them. First of all,
No.
I was not good with Nene involved. Now T.S. Madison can give us that. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen a lot of that from Nene Leakes. And so
Mm-mm.
seeing the
She give
clip
you key.
trending,
That's it.
I had a feeling that, okay, this might be a cute key. But when I realized why the conversation was going viral and trending, I was like, girl, this is not how I plan on
And for
spending
somebody to
the rest
be
of my
in the
life.
community the way you do, like, come
Has been, but
on.
literally your entire TV career
Your
since you
biggest
were
fan
launched,
base,
your biggest fan base is 100% LGBTQ plus. Period. Mostly.
period.
Period. So there's
Get
not even
into
like,
it.
and literally, it's wild. It's wild for me, the homophobia and transphobia. It's wild because I think about, especially now, you know what's trending is clock it, clock it, clock.
Mm-hmm.
Where do y'all think
Oh,
that came
the lingo's
from?
in.
Yes,
They
girl.
don't mind
Where
the
do y'all think
lingo.
that came from? Period. All of that. Period. All of the snapping and the spelling and the quick turns and the pauses and the drama, the Broadway of it all, the reality, the way that we speak. L- Child,
Literally everything she gives.
everything.
Everything she gives.
But like, and it's not just her. I think about how this stuff has spread. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's wild for me to hear people say such homophobic and transphobic things, and they're the biggest ones with the yeses and the yes ma'ams and the go
The
queens.
shade. Clock it. The
Did you just
tea.
read me, girl? Okay, Miss T, honey, clock the boots down. I hear them say stuff like that, and I'm just like,
I
ooh.
love saying boots down.
I just be like, all right, everybody breathe. Everybody breathe for just a moment. Because sometimes they get really excited. But it just blows my mind to take so much of it. And again, D, it's right there. We literally just made another parallel without having to work really hard. Gay culture, black culture, they steal it, they use it, they abuse it, they co-opt it, and they come back for more
And
every
let's
time.
keep it a bean. A lot of the gays that have made the lingo are black.
Majority.
Talk about it. We bring the swag everywhere we go.
And the trans women. It has been trans women and gay men carrying so much of the spicy, zesty culture of this country. It is wild how long like, let's go back though, because D made a point. Go back and look at Dynasty. When you've got a show like Dynasty
I love that's
and
my
they are
show.
reading the way that they are, who do y'all think that is inspired by? That is not just inspired by the queens of Hollywood.
But
That is
see,
inspired
that's
by
the
the
other debate
queens of
though.
Hollywood.
That's the other debate people have though, is like what came first, the chicken or the egg? People have this conversation, and I think they talked about, I think T.S. Madison and Nene talked about it, about how like a lot of black women, if I speak for, I'm saying black women because I'm black and I be privy to the conversations in my culture. I don't know what the Wahite women be talking about, and they don't bring as much swag as we do, so I ain't talking about them. But it's like a lot of people have that conversation of like, oh, y'all were inspired by black women. Y'all were in the salon seeing black women act this way or black women. But it's like what people are missing is like the camp of it is the gay
Hmm.
community or the community in general. I don't want to just, because gay sounds like it's one specific thing. I'm talking about everybody. The rainbow. The camp of it, that's what that comes from. Women being women is one thing, but the camp behind it, the extra sass, the extra
Hmm.
snazziness in it, that's where that comes from. We gotta keep it a bean. We co-create. We can say we co-create, but it's
That's
not
what
a
I was literally about
competition
to
at the end of
say.
the
Is
day.
because that is proof. That is proof that we are allies and should be
Yes,
working together because we've
yes,
created the culture, and it doesn't even matter who did it first because we both have been the ones to do it well and to
exactly.
create it. It's always been ours, and that's what just frustrates me the most about it is that here we are seeing so much of the culture everywhere, and there's still just as much hate, it feels, as when they were first
Hmm.
just trying to be in public together. Make it where it ain't illegal for us to date so I can be seen at McDonald's with Bobby Joe.
And
I don't
and
know.
keeping it in a being, you could barely do that because you
You
still
can,
gonna have the people looking, side eyeing, whispering. And I think what it is like the laws may have changed, but the
hmm
people
The
are
people
still the
did.
same.
Yeah, the people are the
And
same.
that's something obviously like even I've been thinking about that. It's like I've been afraid to go back out into the world because it's like I've changed, but the world is still the world and people are
The
still
word is still the
people.
world.
You know what
But
I'm saying? So it's like even
I
as
will
a
say
black
this.
person, the people still racist.
The people are still
It's just not
racist.
acceptable.
This new generation gives me a lot of hope. They are
Hmm.
foolish as hell. I mean,
Hmm.
this brain rot and this skibbity toilet stuff they have going on, they are foolish as hell. But when I tell
Hmm.
you that they take advocacy, they take tolerance, a lot of them take it very serious. Now, are there
Very seriously.
your outliers? Hell yeah, and they're
Yes.
really hot messes. They exist. They're really bad. But the general population of them that I've met, and I've managed some, I've worked with quite a few, they have good hearts. They've got good heads on their shoulder, about 50%. And we're praying them through because I have hope that as that generation continues to grow and mature and they join
Yeah.
us in the fight, because they're joining us in the fight now. And I'm like, oh, you got energy.
Hmm.
Come on up here and get in front of me. Come on, come here. Come in here.
And
Yeah,
that's
get in
how
front of
so
me.
many people have been on social media. Like when people saying stuff and doing stuff, they end up losing their jobs and stuff like that. That's because they not playing.
They
This
do
younger
not
gen, they
play.
are not playing.
They are not play.
They
They
are
will cancel
doxing
you.
you
They will
if you
dox
trying
you.
it.
They will swat you. They will end your career. Do not play
Yes,
with this generation. And some of millennials,
they
we've been
not
about
fooling
that
with
life.
none of it.
We've been about that
Okay,
life. But
I think
definitely
we
these
kind of like we like pioneered it,
we
and
showed
then
them
they
how to do
coming
it.
on in and standing
Whole
on
different
business.
energy. They said, "Oh, this is what y'all
Hmm.
taught us, but this is how we gonna do it." Not
Hmm.
dots. So yeah, it child.
They do be
Um,
doxing the people.
yeah, yeah, that conversation, it disappointed me, but it didn't surprise me. I'll say that. So
It didn't
it is what
surprise
it
me
is.
either. And it's
Before we
it's
get,
kind of sad to see, honestly,
yes, it
because when
is.
you
It
think
is
about,
sad.
and it's like I be thinking about too. It's like black women love to put their capes on, but when it comes to this particular thing, because you feel like you in competition for whatever reason, like, I
For
don't even.
whatever.
What are we competing for? I don't see no prize on the other side. Need to go hold you. These cis heavy is not no prize on the other side, or the DM on the other side either.
I don't
They ain't doing nothing but causing chaos and confusion.
chaos and confusion.
So
Fucking up
it's
the
like,
drink of
girl, ain't no
water.
gold on the other side of the rainbow,
Hmm
sister. You're not gonna find it. And so it's like, it's sad to see, but it's like if we stood behind and cape for our sisters that y'all don't want to call our sisters,
hmm
we could really make moves. Think about how black women are always used in movements for the numbers. The feminist movement did it. They wasn't
hmm
fighting for black women's rights. They really was fighting for white women was
White
fighting for
women's
their rights. So they
rights.
was like,
They were fighting for
hey,
white
you're
women's
women
rights. Yeah.
too. We need your numbers. Come help us. And
Yes.
we made it move.
Made it happen.
When stuff was happening to black men,
Civil
we made
rights.
it move.
Civil rights and Jim Crow,
And it's
black
like if
women
we
were moving.
stood behind and did the same thing, we could make moves. And those moves don't only just help them, they help us. Because the problem that people have with the LGBT community, because they associate with trans women, because the trans men don't get it as much as the trans women do, because being a woman is the worst thing you could be. The gays who don't pass get it because femininity is the worst thing you can display.
Hmm
It's weak, it's lesser than. If we fought together, because we really the ones that's holding it down, we could make moves. It helps us all because we're all fighting against the patriarchy. We're all fighting
We're
the
all
same
fighting
thing.
the same
If people
system.
just use
Oh
their
my gosh,
brain,
yes. Yes.
just use your brain, rub
Use your
two of them
brain,
brain cells together and create a spark.
please. So, in closing, I want to give some recommended watching, for those of you who are looking for
Mhm.
recommendations and just want to learn more about the community and are interested in different perspectives, different points of view, here are a few suggestions. First, I'm going to start with some people you should just do a little research on. Marsha P. Johnson would be a great place to start, and the Stonewall riots. I would heavily encourage anyone who does not know about
And the
that
movie was
situation,
really good
and
too.
the movie was so good. I would encourage all of you to watch the movie, but learn about the situation, learn about what was going on. Um, Harvey Milk, there's a movie Milk. It's one of my favorite kind of political movies. It was a really good one, and Sean Penn did that. But the story itself is really interesting and sad. So Harvey Milk is a good one, because seeing representation is important. Representation is so important in all
Yeah.
aspects, not just race, in all aspects. Like seeing people that you relate to, wonderful. Okay. Um, Moonlight. Moonlight won Best Picture at the Academy Awards. And that to me
Moonlight.
is a beautiful film about the complexity of being queer in the Black community. This is specific to the Black community and it is beautiful. And it's not, this is a more dramatic performance. Now, if you want the theatrics, honey, I got some recommendations. My top one is Noah's Ark. It is on Amazon Prime. My favorite
Those are
show,
so good.
top five shows of all time for me. It was my coming of age watching that show. Like, that's how I truly found myself. So beautiful. There's a new, I think, movie about to drop
Hmm.
on Paramount this month, and I'm really excited about that. But
The
there's also a
trailer was
movie.
so funny.
I haven't seen the trailer yet. I saw part of it.
It's so
I saw
funny.
part of it. No, I think I might have seen the trailer, but I know I saw part of it. But I'm just really excited. There's also a movie, Noah's Ark, Jumping the Broom. That was, first of all, most of the time when they take a show and turn it into a movie, it's usually not as good. Like it's usually just like, oh, especially during that era when they were doing it, like
Hmm.
it was just like it could be good, it could be bad. Like to take a show and turn it into a movie, it could be good, it could be bad. And it was fantastic because it was supposed to be a whole nother season. It was fantastic. Um, but I'm really excited for this one. I will also say one of my favorite campy Black queer movies to watch. And it talks about the struggle and it's a musical, guys. So if you don't like musicals, you're not gonna love this one. But it is called Leave It on the Floor. And
I
this
thought
is,
you was gonna say Kinky Boots.
oh, I love Kinky Boots. I didn't even think about Kinky Boots is definitely recommended reading and
I
watching.
love Kinky Boots.
I love Kinky Boots.
And Paris is Burning is
And Paris is
definitely
Burning. Oh, that's
good.
another really, really Paris is Burning.
That would
But
make me cry.
Leave It on the Floor is a little bit more like a, what do they call them? Like a B movie, like a oh, this is gonna sound so, I can't say that. I'm gonna say it's gonna sound so shady, but you're gonna know what I mean. You know, on BET there was like the Tyler Perry plays, and then there were like the David E. Talbert plays.
Hmm.
That's, it's like a David E.
Them.
Talbert play, but it's like a movie. It's a
Yeah.
movie, but you know what I mean. Like it's, you know what I mean. Okay, I'm trying to say it
Yeah.
without saying it because I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I love it. So
You
I'm
know,
not
we some
trying.
highbrow uppity Negroes. So.
Right. And this is not highbrow. This is not a highbrow uppity new. It's super campy and it's super over the top, but and it's definitely a musical, but it is fun and it's called Leave It on the Floor. And it was on Amazon Prime. I loved it. Check it out if you just want a good key, want to drink a little wine, enjoy something.
Yeah.
But no, I completely agree. Do you like Kinky Boots is is fantastic. Oh, well, that's a different conversation because I was gonna say Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I'm like, no, not really. Kind of, but not really. That's a lot more theatrical and it's not going to get the job
Yeah.
done. So we want to thank y'all so much for hanging in here with us, listening to us. Key,
We went all around the
go
world.
everywhere. We go all around the world. Do you remember that?
We know, 'cause
Yes.
we go all around.
With the masks on. With the masks
That
on.
was
Okay.
the worst.
That was the word. Raven's face. I will never. I've only watched that movie twice, and I will never forget Raven's face when
when
they
she was
played that
looking at
song,
them and
and
she
she was
like looking
just
at that table, she like,
and the mask, and it was, oh my God, okay. Okay, that was a lot. So we want to thank y'all so much for tuning in with us and just having fun and keying. And we love you. And we'll see you next week in another episode of the 5011 Chronicles. Peace.